Hi there, and welcome to this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, and I'm joined by my regulars here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champs, Chris Nilan and Rick Green. Well, Knuckles, the game in Anaheim, Marty St. Louis decided to bench Patrik Laine and Dach for just about all of the third period. Was that the right decision? What did you think about that?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. Listen, one thing, Kirby has turned his season around. He's done well. He was playing really well in that stretch, and he was struggling out there. And listen, he bounced back and had a good game against San Jose, had a couple assists. He made some plays. He made things happen, right? Maybe he got his attention. As far as Laine, listen, we know he's got a great one-timer on the power play. We know he has a great one-timer on the power play. We know he has a great one-timer on the power play. We know he has a great one-timer on the power play. Hello, 5-on-5, he is soft. He's soft on the wall. He's soft in the corners. Not looking for, he's a big guy. I'm not looking to run people over and, but come on. He's soft, 5-on-5. And when you're soft 5-on-5, it shows. You don't battle for pucks. You're reaching. He just seems very... maybe from the blue line in, he tries a little harder because we might have a chance to score. And sometimes I see him and I just wonder what the hell he's doing out there.
Now, Pascal Vincent went through this last year when he was head coach in Columbus with Laine. I know early in the season he benched him for a game, then he made him a healthy scratch for another game. Drew, just what are your thoughts when you saw that Marty benched both of those guys?
Well, they're not good enough to have some of their key guys as passengers. And, it's a classic example of Marty trying to push the right buttons and make the right statements, and this is unacceptable. And, Kirby had things going pretty well, and then all of a sudden he forgot what and how to play. He addressed that. Laine, again, if you watch him, he's, like Nuck says, he kind of a perimeter, doesn't seem to, he's a big guy, but that's the way that he plays. I think he kind of goes about his business without making too many waves, and then, shows up with an opportunity to shoot or, scoring chance. But the 5-on-5 involvement is not good enough, and I think Marty, made that point that, hey, you guys can do a lot better than that. And you better do it. And if, this continues not just with those guys, I think other guys will have to feel that chance that they might be doing a little bit of sitting, which is I'm all for.
Yeah, I know the second goal Anaheim scored, Laine was sort of just coasting on the back check, not moving his feet. Knuckles, teammates on the bench, do you guys notice that kind of stuff? Like, what would the reaction of the teammates be when they saw him get benched?
Of course you notice. Of course you do. And maybe some guys are going, it's about time, right? Mm-hmm. Guys notice stuff on the ice. Guys would notice if I took a stupid penalty, right? They'd say, oh, there's Knox taking another stupid penalty. Guys would notice when Bobby Smith would hog the puck and not pass it, right? They'd be on the bench going, so someone would come back to the bench. Can you believe it? I was wide open. So, yeah, guys notice shit, and, you just don't want to be the one who gets your ass pinned to the bench.
Do you remember the first time you got benched, Knuckles? Or one of the times that stands out in your mind?
Yeah. When Jacques Lemaire took over the team in Boston, and I showed up 5 minutes late for the team meal, and he benched me. He didn't even fucking play me, the bastard. But him and Serge had a big laugh about that on the way home. I went to the bar and watched the game with my brother and my friends, and I got shit-faced. And the Habs went on to win like 3-2, and I got on the plane. I was like, Serge and Lemaire was sitting in first class, and we had to go in the back, We were the peon players, and walking by, and there was big Serge was laughing. Jacques was like, Jacques didn't even want to look at me. I was just staring right at them. Like, I'll challenge you two.
I know Marty's talked about non-negotiables, and one of those non-negotiables obviously is the work ethic, right? And I know, Rick, you were assistant coach with the Canadiens when Alex Kovalev was around. Do you see any similarities there?
Oh, gee, I don't want to even comment on that one because if you see that in your lineup, it's going to make you go crazy just seeing what you're seeing. I don't believe they have any type of guys to that extreme where Coach Killer Kovalev did what he did best, which was flip the coin, whatever kind of game you're going to get out of him, and don't ever criticize him. But no, they got a pretty good group with good chemistry, and I think that they're going to get things straightened out. But Nux, you always sing the praises about Jacques Lemaire, and you talk about benching. And I remember in the playoffs against Boston, obviously I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, and Jacques came down to the end of the bench and whispered in my ear, "Go sit over there and keep warm because that's where you're going to sit for a while." So, it's all part of it, and each coach tries to push the buttons the right way, and it's all good though.
Funny, Lemaire, when I was coaching in Jersey with him, and I had the D, he looked over at me like Danica was like -5, and Lemaire looked over at me. He goes, put the 3 fingers up, number 3, and he goes, just like that, like he's done. And then I bench him for the period, and he's like turning around, looking at me, like gripping his stick. He wants to fight me, like it's like fucking meathead.
Well, Marty's sending, I guess, he's sending a message to Laine and Dach, but he's also sending a message to the whole team, right? Like that when you bench a guy like that, I guess it's got more of an impact, right?
You can't let it slip. Like, he doesn't want it to slip, right? Marty don't. He saw it. They lose, 5 in a row. They had things going great. He loved that feeling. And then, you see guys who just, kind of giving up. If you're not bringing it, you're not bringing it, you're giving up. And he probably noticed that and said, I'm not going to put up with it. And you'll pin your ass to the bench. And that's good. Yeah, it gets their attention, hopefully, and everybody around him.
I think it's really important that, people realize that, as a player, you see what's going on the ice and you see the guys that aren't involved and committed to wanting to play. And then it doesn't come down to you maybe leaving the message to your teammate. But the big question is, okay, what does the coach do and say, and how does he handle that situation to make sure that doesn't happen again? And if those type of things continually go by without being addressed, then you got yourself a big problem. But all good coaches find a way to say, okay, one-on-one, let's get this cleared up, and certain things are not acceptable, and they won't be acceptable, and that's part of it.
Hey, Greenie, is that Mike McPhee behind you?
No, it's a lookalike. If you look closer, I'm much better looking than Mike.
Well, that's it for this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. Go to MontrealGazette.com/newsletters to sign up for the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. And of course, go to HockeyInsideOut.com every day for all the latest Canadiens news. Also, if you have a bonus question you'd like us to answer on a future bonus episode, please put it in the comments section below.